It is that time of the week. It is Monday, and you know what that means, everyone. Time to punch your ticket and hop on board with me, Jasmin St. Join me and my wonderful guests as we take you into a wild journey on Off the Rails live stream. Hop on in the chat, ask questions, leave comments, or just sit back and watch the madness unfold. We'll be waiting for you. Happy Monday, and thank you so much for showing up, guys. Hey, No, how are you? I see John J out there. I see Jamal. I know that everyone's going to be hopping in shortly. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Again, hey, Ben, how are you? Hola, ¿cómo estás? I can't see that far, guys. So if I am squinting to look at comments, and if I can't read it right away, it's not because I'm ignoring anyone. It is simply because I don't know. I just can't see anything. Hey, Alex, how are you? I hope you guys are enjoying the streams, and thank you so much for showing love on the restreams. Do not forget to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you for loving my hair. It's actually dirty. So just subscribe to the page, catch up on the restreams, and obviously in the membership section, there are some very special, cool things. Yeah, it's been a while, I know. I posted those restreams the past few weeks, which have been great. Thank you so much for watching them and enjoying the ones with Tara, Zep, and Goldilocks. But for now, I feel as though it's time to step out of, just wrestling stuff, because it's cool and everything, but so many of these conversations are like almost the same with some of the people because, I mean, it's just not that interesting sometimes. And besides, if we have to say which came first, heavy metal or wrestling, for me, it's hand in hand. It's a little bit of both. So of course I'm going to go back to music because that's what I'm doing now mostly are just music interviews. It's by choice. I'll get to the elephant in the room a little bit. In the meantime, let's just go ahead and, speak to our sponsors or hear about our sponsor. If you're in the market for a very cool coffee, something that is very volcanic, hop on over to supermassiveblackcoffee.com, punch in the code M as in Mary, B as in boy, N as in Nancy, and, get your day going with it. So anyway, I've got to tell you guys a funny story. And I know that my guest is in the waiting room. Maybe he sees this differently than I do. Okay. So last year was my very first gathering of the Juggalos. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't sure what to expect, but those are definitely great. They're different. Hey, Hellstrom, how are you? And I was in the cart driving one way with a bunch of people. Then there's this guy going this way. I'm like, wait a second. He's got like no face paint on. Is he even in the right place? He's definitely not a pig. So not a cop. You don't look like a juggalo because you didn't have the face paint on or anything else. Then one of the guys in the golf cart said, oh, that's a guy named Sinizter. He's a rapper. So of course I went online. I'm looking for Sinister. I'm like, dude, unless he's like a resurrected ghost, then I guess that's him. So I was spelling it wrong the whole time. It was just very interesting. But it was, then I was hitting on him on Twitter, by the way. So at least like I didn't get Me Too'd or like called out for sexual harassment or any kind of crap like that. Because that seems to be like the norm these days with people. I just don't get it. But anyway, I am looking down because this guy has quite the multitude of projects going on, which is really cool. So Sinizter just doesn't do rap music. He's involved in a form of metal that maybe I've heard, but I'm definitely not familiar with. And before we hop on over there, thanks again to those of you who are watching that Motorhead interview I put up, or Paul put up, and thank you once again, Paul. It's gotten over 100,000 views in the past, I don't know, 36 hours. So I guess I'm doing something right. But one thing I will say, just one more thing. Okay. Just, it's disrespectful to expect people to work for free, right? If you have talents in more than one thing, you just go. You know, go where your talents are appreciated. Whoop, whoop, Shaggy, what's going on? And, you know, the only other character I met through the gathering that was interesting was Tara Diaz, who was another performer on another one of the stages. He too had something interesting, which was an improv background. Okay, just one more thing. Improv just isn't meant for acting, you know, because that helps you adjust the scenes and improvise and get into a scene if you feel as though someone might have forgotten a line. But, okay, improv is really good for wrestling because when you have a grown-ass man, you heard the words, a grown-ass man, sandbagging you in your promos, cutting your lines off in the middle of the ring, it's a really good skill to have because improvisers think at the top of their intelligence, while other performers, they just have a limited skill set. Hey guys, well, here we go. Ringside News just got here. So that is the truth. And that is what, you know, that's what improv is for, specifically so you don't get sandbagged by a grown-ass fucking man in the ring. Anyway, enough with that. Let's get down to the very lighthearted part of this show. Sinizter is hopping on board. I see him right there already. Hi.
What is up? How are you?
Good. So did I scare you off already? Because sometimes I get a little bit.
No.
Okay.
No, it's all good. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great to see like you're so well connected with your audience and all that.
Yeah, I think that's really important, you know, being connected with an audience, like personally, not like a moderator, not a third party, because people want to speak to you directly. They want to hear what you have to say. And this is probably the only time of the week that I could get an AMA going at the same time, even though it's like all about you, which is true. What's your ethnic background?
That's funny you should ask. I've been doing a deep dive on exactly that over the last like couple of weeks. So from what my grandmother passed down to me, because she's passed away now recently as of
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a couple. Yeah, she lived a long, full life, but thank you. But she has informed me directly because I was so curious about it. On her side, they are Spanish, Italian, French. They, in like the late 1800s, her parents migrated from Spain down to Puerto Rico. And then in the 1930s, somewhere they went to Hawaii. And then my grandparents were born in Hawaii. So they grew up there. So I'm not like a first generation on that side, but then my mom is like, her parents are like straight out of Bogota, Colombia, like immigrated here. And yeah, had my mom in Southern California. So I'm like half Colombian and half like mixed European, I guess.
Yeah, European people are really talented. I deal with a lot of black metal and a lot of trap metal, but thrash metal musicians from Europe. Actors are better usually there as well as the experience in Italy. Colombia, though, has some really great TV shows coming out. Like right now, I'm in the middle of binge watching The Guest on Netflix. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. No. I'll make sure to add that to my list. What's it about?
It's a psychological thriller. It's almost like I feel as though it's a Lifetime movie times a million with a better looking cast and more talented than most American actors you see in Lifetime because they tend to overact. Maybe because they didn't take improv, but at least they don't sound like each other. Someone just said you're the motherfucking best. You're the GOAT. We got to get you to Michigan. Matthew says, hi. Hey, City by the Bay, what's going on? So I got to ask you. So the new Sinizter album came out last year. It's called Iconoclast.
Last month.
Sorry, it's May. I forgot, guys. It's
Yeah.
June. So last month, Sinister's album came out called Iconoclast.
Mm,
What is trap metal? I have no idea. I've never heard
man,
this before.
we
Unless
are.
you,
It's kind of it's like a sound that basically came out of the SoundCloud rap scene. Are you familiar with any of the SoundCloud rap scene, like Suicide Boys, Ghostman, Puya, all that kind of stuff? Bones, any
Ghostman.
of those rappers? Okay, so those are from like that SoundCloud rap era. So that was like 20 as far back as maybe like 2013 was like Bones, and then 2015 Ghostman and Lil Peep and Puya and all those guys, they kind of entered the fray. And it was kind of like a heavier style that spawned. It's like really blown out 808s. This is how it started, and that was popularized by the rapper XXX Tentacion. Have you
Kind
ever heard of
of.
that rapper?
I
Yeah, I
know
mean,
what you
if you've heard the name, yeah. So that it was like kind of popularized by him and another rapper called Ski Mask, and it was like the initially when it came out and like when it was in the underground, it was just like real blown out 808s, and it was very poor mixing, kind of almost reminiscent of black metal, I guess. But as it's progressed, like now, almost a decade or over a decade later at this point, I and the producers that worked on this most recent album, and there's another artist named Scarlord who work with similar producers that are really kind of trying to define what the genre it actually should sound like. So we're taking trap 808s, like as heavy as can be, and there's a songwriter producer named Riff Grimes, or Brian Spencer as he used to go by, which is his first and last name. So shout out to that guy, because he is really, really pushing this sound a lot, along with another producer who also worked on Iconoclast named Muppy, and really just trying to. Brian, he plays guitar and he's like a riff machine, can write any genre, and so we're really trying to do what Scarlord has been trying to do, what I've been trying to do with these producers, is just carve out a proper contemporary sound for trap metal to actually explain to you what it is. So I guess if in simpler terms, if you want to hear what that would sound like mixed together, just listen to like maybe the first two songs or songs like Resist or Burn. That would be like trap metal, like fully appropriated guitars, 808s. There's breakdowns in it. I mean, we try to get crazy with it. So Muppy's really good at sound design, so he really kind of pushes the heaviness with that.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. And I should have listened to it before, but I've just been nonstop all
Yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah,
But I will. You know that because I always like listening to music. Well,
yeah,
going
yeah.
back to Gathering with the Juggalos, what were you playing there? Was it rap or was it this type of stuff?
Mostly rap, because I know that like I started off as a rapper, so my catalog is mostly rap. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, I played a lot. I started out off actually as a horrorcore rapper in like 2017, so I was already kind of like marketing to the Juggalos in the first place. But I pivoted off of that to go like the trap metal, scream rap, heavier type route, just because it was more fitting for me. Um, but yeah, so yeah, at the Gathering, I was playing like mostly a rap oriented set, but just my style. And I mean, I just came off the tour with Ouija Mac too, so a
Yeah,
lot of those people had already seen me, so it was awesome. It was fun.
that's got to be fun. Yeah, Ouija Mac was quite the show. I think I've seen a lot of like ICP shows and Ouija Mac from when I worked at JCW. Uh, so here are some questions.
Mhm.
Actually, was that your first gathering last year?
It was. It was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I'm considering going back this year just for fun because I'm not performing. So, and I talked to Rob about maybe 2027. So that
Mhm.
he responded back and seemed receptive to it. So that was good. But yeah, I might go because it's in the Ozarks. I've never been. I wanna
Yeah,
check
and
that
I
out.
heard it's like 3 hours away from any major airport. Any airport. This is what someone told me.
Oh
Um,
no.
it could be fun, but I feel as though Juggalos are open to metal. So if you brought in trap
Mm.
metal, I think they'd be open to it, or even if they heard you in Hate Within. Let's just go into a couple of these questions before we
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Hate
Yeah.
Within. So City by the Bay, he wants to know, by the way, City by the Bay, You told me the funniest line in the Twitter chat one day. I think it was you I was speaking with. I'm not going to repeat it. Anyway, um, he wants to know if you do wrestling entrance themes.
I mean, I definitely could for sure. Like I grew up watching The Undertaker, was my favorite wrestler. So, I mean, I'm not like a stranger to wrestling or pro wrestling, I should say. But yeah, so, I mean, I could.
Yeah, I think you should, like for something like TNA or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know, do you prefer vinyl, 8 tracks, or CDs, and why? Ooh,
Ooh,
okay.
okay. Definitely vinyl. I actually on the Ouija Mac tour. Oh man, I like started the worst habit ever, which was collecting vinyl.
Oh no, what did you do?
Oh
Did you go
man,
to like thrift stores or something?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm like me and my videographer Zab. Do you know Zab by chance? He goes by King Zab on Instagram. No, okay. Um, he's a video media guy in the Juggalo world. Um, but yeah, no, so he was the videographer for that tour, and him and I were rolling together the entire 40 days. But yeah, no, I had always wanted to get into vinyl, and on tour you always got that extra pocket change, and I'm like, what else am I gonna spend my money on? So yeah, oh man, went crazy. I ended that tour with like 30 or 40 vinyl, which doesn't sound crazy, but trust me, financially it was a lot. Those vinyl adds up quick. So definitely vinyl. I will buy CD, and I do have a small CD collection. Um, but it just kind of depends. I'd prefer the vinyl just because I like the big artwork and all that. Um, and I do have a small cassette collection, but again, it's kind of more select. Like I got to really love it, or it has to only be available on cassette. So
Well, if you did the Albuquerque venue where they had ICP shows,
yeah.
next door to it is a thrift store. Did you? It's I think it's
Oh
a Sunshine Theater. Have you been in there?
no, no, no. Wait, what part of you said New Mexico?
Yeah, Albuquerque.
What part? I mean, the what venue is it?
Sunshine Theater.
Oh no, no, I've only been to New Mexico once, and I played at a place called the Launchpad. So I don't know if you've
Okay.
ever been there or heard of that
No, I've
underground
only
venue.
the last time I worked New Mexico it was for NWA. Some There's a gentleman on here. I introduced my mom to Came to Kill, and she became a new Sinister fan as well. How old is your mom, by the way? I'm just curious.
My mom?
Um, no, this guy telling me his mom's
Oh,
listening to your music now. I'm just curious. I want to see what genre this is.
yeah.
Um, so everyone's saying we need to convince you to perform at GOTJ this year. At the end of the day, it's a great idea, but the powers that be that decide things. What made you go through the transition of metal?
That's a good question. That's where my heart is, like really, and honestly, even deeper than that, because this is something I've really rediscovered recently. Is it's not just metal; it's like specifically black metal. I'm like
Yeah,
I've always been diehard for it. My vinyl collection is like 99% black metal records, exclusively. There's like few
good.
death metal records that I collect, but this project that I'm working on, and we can get into it either now or later in the
Now it's fine.
podcast, called Epikoros. It's a project that I started not even a year ago. It was a thought that I had on the Ouija Mac tour, and I was like telling my videographer Zab about it, and I was like, dude, I have to do this. And he's like, dude, yeah, no, it's like, this sounds totally awesome. You should do it. I'm like, yeah, when we get back, I'm totally doing this. And that's exactly what I did. And like, I recently hired, I've never worked with a drummer before.
Hmm.
And I hired Nils Fjellstrom, or Dominator, as he's
Yeah,
better known, from
Dark
he
Funeral.
used to play Dark Funeral. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And many other bands. But like working with him, he started tracking drums for the album in like March of this year. And man, it's just been like such a, first of all, he's like an A-list drummer, like for black metal. So it's like hearing all the songs that we had done, because we had them all demoed out previously. but then hearing them with real drums on it and his drums, it just like made me fall in love with the project that much more. And yeah, it just like over the last 6 months, I've really just been like rediscovering myself through black metal, and I'm just so beyond passionate about black metal specifically. And yeah, so it's yeah, I love metal, but I definitely am like black metal to the core for sure.
I feel as though you need to perform at Inferno Festival. I worked for Inferno Festival in Norway when I lived there for many years. And I used to host Inferno Festival TV. That's where my Exodus interview like popped up after this like 18-hour flight. It got like a shit ton of views and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you just you know how it is. You got to love this business to be a part of it,
Hmm.
especially with I just think with metal. Okay, so there are dick faces and politickers in every business, and I'm
Hmm.
completely being tamed tonight. I bit my tongue before I started the show. Um, I like to be cryptic. That's one
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then I like to let information slowly bleed out. So with this new band, I for some reason I could see you doing like a Burzum project, where it's just a solo project.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, the project started off that way, but like I
Mhm.
mean, okay, technically it is that. It's like it's my thing, like it, but I contract other people to compose, the songs or record real instruments and all that, and I would need people to perform it live.
Yeah,
This is not my first black metal project though. I had a previous one. It's still active. I'm just more focused on the work with Epikoros right now. But it was called Legions of Malthus. And so that kind of was like a more black and thrash thing, kind of like in the vein of Bathory. Um, that kind of stuff, like first wave black metal. But yeah, Epikoros is definitely more of like the like Scandinavian sounding black metal where it's just really fast and lots of fast drumming, obviously. But yeah, so
you know who would have been a really good drummer,
who
like just a black metal drummer? Tim Young.
who is that?
Tim Young is an Asian American guy. He's played with a bunch of bands. God, he like filled in for Morbid Angel. He just did a bunch of. It's like it's hard to tell because I just knew him from being around the scene. Um, so he was around it for so long in so many different bands, but he was definitely like one of the fastest drummers. Another good drummer, obviously, would be Nick Barker, who was in Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
another
yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing drummer. So Jacko Schmidt, who's another Juggalo. Who is this guy? Is he a metal band guy? Okay, so Sinizter was at the Gathering of the Juggalos last year, and he's an artist. That's the preferred term. He's involved in a
Yes.
few projects. Yep, Iconoclast. Then he has Hate Within, which I think I listened to some of it. It sounds symphonic. That's just me. Maybe
Yep.
it's a sound
Yep.
that I
Yep.
heard.
Yep.
But he's definitely one of the. He's into the Juggalo culture. He wasn't painting his face. Then again, none of us were painting our face. A lot of us weren't painting our faces. How did you even come in contact with Juggalos?
Well, like I said, when I first started
Yeah.
off, like there was like a small scene out here in Atlanta where I'm at. And so the first crowd I ever performed in front of was like it was at a Juggalo show, just for
Hmm.
like some underground locals, but like the entire fan base was all Juggalos. So that was like my first introduction to that. But then I got reintroduced to it again through Ouija. A lot of people, we have like a lot of mutual friends just in the underground, and they were just like, "You guys got to work together. You guys got to work together." And eventually, like we followed each other and just like didn't do anything for like 2 years. And then one day, I was like, "I'm gonna send you something," and yeah. Eventually, it stuck. I went to go meet him when he came and played. I think it was like a couple days before my birthday in like 2024, and then we hit it off, connected, and everything was great. And then we did a song that he was like, "Why don't we just do an album?" And then he's very quick with stuff, so like he has a lot of ideas, which I love. And so the album was like, "Dude, why don't we tour the album?" We're like, "That's a great idea." So yeah, so then we did the whole Another Summer in Hell last year, and that was super fun. And that was like my basically my I guess my not only the introduction but like the my entrance into Juggalo subculture.
Yeah, it's a subculture. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
It was my very first gathering as well. I wasn't sure what to expect. But it was a lot of fun. People were cool. I think people just get the wrong impression sometimes. Wait, one thing I did not like about the gathering, so you have these like streamers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that sounds hypocritical in a way, but it's not, because I just feel as though they treated the whole event and like people there like they're fucking circus animals, which they're not. You know, they're actual humans with lives that are way cooler than yours anyway.
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought. So Matthew wants to know, can we expect a new Hate Within after the Black Sun Eclipse album release?
The Black Sun Eclipse album is the Epikoros album that comes out July 1st. That's what he's talking about.
All right.
I've thought about another Hate Within project, but right now I can't bite off, like realistically speaking, I can't bite off more than I can chew. So my full focus right now is on Sinizter and Epikoros. Those are my two focuses right now. I would love to do something with Hate Within, especially because we just dropped the vinyl for the first album too, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I mean, maybe.
I hope so. I think it's so fascinating. You love black metal because not everybody knows about it. Did you see Lords of Chaos?
I have. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but
yeah. So I met the guy who was
yeah.
supposed to play Varg. Well, I don't know if he ended up getting the role as Varg. I was at a party, and this is a really weird thing. So a friend of mine hung himself back in December. He was an actor.
All right.
James Ransome. You look a little bit like PJ. But at his dinner party, like a few years before, this guy was saying, "Oh, so I heard you talking about metal, like black metal. What do you know about black metal?" I'm like, okay, because I'm supposed to play Varg. I said, yeah, I really don't think Varg would want you playing him of all people. Not you know exactly what I meant. I wasn't trying to be catty. Yeah. I told him about churches being burnt down. He didn't believe me. I personally didn't like the movie. Why didn't you see it? You just not want to see it because you feel as though it's got to be mysterious and certain myths should be left over in Norway?
Well, no, I watched it. I didn't like it though. I'm in the same boat as you, but I don't know what your reasonings for not liking it were, but mine were that, I mean, I saw what the guys in the interview with like Necker Butcher, the bassist from Mayhem, about the movie, and a lot of these guys talked about it like it was like historically inaccurate. There was, you know, it's Hollywood or Hollywood-ish, you know, it's very dramatized. So like, yes, some of those things happen, but you know, it's like, did it actually happen this exact way? And you know, the book you know, covers like even further about underground black metal and another underground black metal band that I won't name. That it like goes into like a whole deeper direction, but I think people take Lords of Chaos as like this biblical sort of black metal doctrine, like this is the movie that you have to watch and then you're no longer a poser. It's like black metal is so much deeper than Lords of Chaos. What Lords of Chaos is like, that's like a little side story. There's so many other insane stories about it. So yeah, I just think it's so much more than that.
It really is. I mean, was it Zyklon by any chance you were talking about?
The band?
Yeah.
No. Actually, here. I'll do you one better.
I do. It's a good poster in the background, by the way.
I have the book literally within arm's reach.
Oh, Lords of Chaos. Yeah, there we go. And you have your Bathory poster going. Yeah, I remember reading that years ago. You know, they never discussed like you talk about. Well, yeah, you talk about like Mayhem, right, with Per Olin, and you know they don't really go into the, you know, the mental health issue here because he always had issues and all these obsessions about death. Yeah. And there's this video lingering around the internet of him and Euronymous, like when they were both alive in the same video, like alive and kicking and having fun. Then it's creepy as fuck. Getting back to you, I'm just still so fascinated by black metal and your love for it because there's nobody else from the gathering or in that crew that loved black metal. What came first, Venom or black metal?
Like, think Venom kind of started a like the black metal album is not black metal.
Yeah.
They just called it that. You know what I mean? So uh and I think they kind of started a sound, but it it wasn't really completely ironed out. There's a lot of debates about who had the first black metal band. I think arguably it could have been Bathory.
Yeah, that's really one of it. What turned you on to black metal?
I was a teenager. What was the first black metal band I ever picked up? I think it actually was Bathory. Actually, I was
Really?
14. Yeah. It was. I remember listening to not this album right behind me, but that album. I feel like such a fucking poser right now. But I remember the song names, Desiree and the Gold Walls of Heaven.
Yes.
But those were songs that I remember listening to, and I was like, oh man, like this is crazy. And but simultaneously I got introduced to a lot of bands all at once. Bathory was one of those bands, Marduk was one of those bands for me. So it was a lot of the Swedish black metal bands like right away at first, and then it kind of like segued into like me finding like Behemoth and like Cradle of Filth, and then I had to like sift through what's death metal and what it like all these other little subcategories of different types of metal, and subcategories of black metal and all this kind of stuff. So yeah.
My eyes light up because I love nerd talk when it comes to
Yeah,
metal.
yeah.
People don't get it. There's symphonic black metal, there's symphonic thrash metal. Like Cradle of Filth, I thought was very commercialized. When you talk about Dimmu Borgir, if you close your eyes and listen to the music, you feel as though you're in the North Sea, going like on a Viking ship with the orchestral sounds and the piano and everything. So, jumping back to you, because this went into this whole
that album was Blood Fire Death. I can't believe I just had to look that up, but yeah. I literally named one of my own songs. Yeah, I named one of my own songs after that album specifically. So yeah, stupid. Yeah, Blood Fire Death. That was my first Bathory album.
So is this like your job playing music, or you don't have a real job? There's no way. I'm sorry.
No. I haven't worked a job since 2020. Yeah, because my last job was Amazon, but it came at a cost. I was doing the whole Sinizter thing for a while, and I was broke. But my mindset at the time was, if I go really, really, really hard right now and just try to make this work, then hopefully, it's like a sink or swim kind of thing. And like, I knew that I was never going to push myself to do it if I had a job, because like I'm going to be distracted. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, I didn't really start pushing like my YouTube until this past year, like pushing harder on the streams, everything else, and fan interaction. And that's how this stuff is. Like you just have to keep going and going. And you're involved in all these different projects. You might as well be Scandinavian, because that's what they do. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
If you go over there and you live there, chances are you're not a criminal going there to bomb the country and do all kinds of bullshit. So chances are you could probably get a resident visa to live there and get funded by the government to make music. I know I'm saying that. Everyone's just, I don't know if I piss people off by saying that, but I have everyone knows my strong opinions already. I won't say it. But I think it's a perfect place because musicians there thrive. Look at like In Flames, Mork, bands like that. Enslaved is another good one. Is there a musician you haven't toured with yet, with the Sinizter aspect of your music that you've not toured with? So with the Sinizter band or the rap music, is there anyone you'd like to tour with aside from Ouija Mac?
Yeah, I mean, well, the Ouija Mac thing was pretty random, but yeah, I mean, like, I honestly, Sinizter can be flexible. So I mean, like, they're like, I think a cool combo, especially since I've worked with them, would be like Peeling Flesh. I feel like that would maybe make sense if they were ever open to like having like a rapper on tour with them. And I think they've talked about that, but I don't know that it would ever be me, because I'm sure they have, homies that they would, put on first. But something like that would be really cool. Just like a, hardcore hip hop or / trap crossover. But yeah, there's that. And then like, I mean, bigger acts like Rob Zombie would be super sick, because I'm a big Rob Zombie fan too.
Yeah.
Aside from black metal, but yeah. So But next year, and this is still being booked, so TBA. But I am booked for Tuska in Finland, the
Of
Tuska Metal
course,
Festival.
the festival,
Yeah,
yes.
so I'm booked for that July 2nd in Finland for 2027.
That's awesome. Now we just
Yeah,
got to get you to Norway to either
I know, right?
Inferno. Inferno is the most important festival in Norway because it's
Yeah,
the first festival of the year that kicks off, and it's Norway. That's if it's a black metal festival, that's the one. There's At the Gates as well in August. They have a pretty decent lineup this year. Emperor is playing, but that's what you got to get on next.
yeah.
Do you find it really hard when you're playing these different genres of music to like not mix them up? Because that's got to be difficult.
With Sinizter, I've been too experimental in the past where I've literally made blackened trap metal, and that is like a cardinal sin even by my own standards. But I'm like, I just want to see what it would sound like and like see if we can pull it off. And I mean, we definitely did. We've done it a couple of times. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but again, I just wanted to see if it could actually be done. Um, and yeah, it can be, but it shouldn't for sure. But yeah, I mean, I get a little bit distracted, I guess you could say, with like influences and being like, oh man, like because there's like all these different things I want to do and sounds I want to put together and hear and all that. So it is hard. I'm even now like 10, I've been almost 10 years into this consistently, and I'm like just now trying to like pull back the reins and be like, all right, let's like center this and try to actually like make something coherent and stay consistent with like a certain sound with Sinizter and with Epikoros and with Hate Within. That way fans are like they're coming there for that specific sound.
That's interesting. So I speak 5 languages, and I get it sometimes. Like when I'm done speaking one language, it's that little hesitation after to like go back
Yeah,
to whatever the first language is I was speaking in. And I get it, it kind of sometimes they just mold together sometimes when you speak in like French and Portuguese in the same sentence
yeah.
almost. Um, so, Paul, I don't know when you asked this question because it's popping up now. Favorite metal and dark metal bands. So we said Bathory. Did we say Dark Throne?
No, 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 no. So I guess for black metal, man, favorite black metal bands. Well, I guess there's a
Go on.
band called 1349.
I know that.
Yeah. Huge fan of them. That was partially the reason why I picked Nils of all things too, because he plays live with them in like the States when they come here. Or at least the 2 times that I've seen them live here. 1349 definitely. There's a band called Infernal War that I'm a big fan of from Poland. I'm a really big fan of Infernal War. And then another band from Poland called Thunderbolt, which has some of the same members from Infernal War in there. Maybe more like familiar bands. Like I like a lot of the Finnish bands too, because I just recently went to Steelfest, and that was, oh man, I did something as a fan for once, and that was like probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. So yeah, yeah.
I can go as a fan without a problem, but at the same time, I'm always thinking and always working. Okay, great. Like even if I don't do interviews that night, okay, hey, by the way, do you have a card? Do you have like your publicist card? Because I'd love to have you on the show. This is how the conversations usually end up
Yeah.
going. And festivals are brutal. Like when I worked Bloodstock one year, I was there for AOL Noise Creep or something, or one of those things, Stay Heavy TV. It was like morning till evening, then staying up late, drinking with people, going to
Oh
bed,
man.
getting up at 5 a.m. to get ready to go there for an early time to do interviews, because they were early in the morning, some of those interviews. And I was like so sleep deprived, but it's worth it,
Yeah.
Just like with touring, I'm sure it's worth it. It's the same thing. Now, I've got to ask you, back to Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah.
I'm sure you read a lot about it, okay? Because as we all know, that hoe Tila Tequila was there, and like people,
Oh yeah.
that piece of trash. Were you scared that maybe your music might get rejected by the Juggalos, even though they love everyone and accept most people, except bad people? Did you think maybe like they'd throw shit at you or Fago or?
Yeah, I remember asking Ouija but I was asking Ouija about it before we even went on tour, because I was like, we did the tour before we went, and like 2 weeks later, then it was going to be the gathering, and so I already knew that I had the gathering coming up like at the very end of that. So I asked him, I was like, "What is it like?" And he's like, "You'll be fine." He's like, "They're probably going to throw shit at you, but like that's how it is. Like it's not a bad thing." It's like a lot of people, it throws them off when they're performing because they're like, "What the fuck?" But he's like, if they do it, they're testing you for one, and then two, a lot of times they're just wilding out. He's like, picture it. The analogy that he gave was like, picture like a big riot in like the middle of the city, and you're standing on like a burning car. You're standing on top of it, and you're shouting and performing. And he's like, "What do you think's going to happen?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is." So that performance too at the gathering, I mean, a lot of them, thankfully, were already like warmed up for me because they'd seen me on the Ouija tour. So yeah, I mean, it was crazier energy actually, because there was like way more people. There was like hundreds of people watching me, mosh pits the entire time. I mean, they went hard for me. It was really, really crazy. People like jumping on stage and shit just to, you know, attempt to crowd surf or do something. I don't know. They're just, it was wild. It was wild. So
Someone just said you got hit by a glow stick at
oh,
Juggalo.
yeah.
I hope that wasn't someone's ass before it went to hit you. That's all I have to say. Um, I've been like, so the first time I did Fago Armageddon, Ouija Matt told me to go with him on the stage so nothing happens to me. My hair was so fucked up afterwards because that stuff just stayed in my hair. It was like sticky, even though it was sugar free. So I would do it again for sure. But I did get hit almost my very first night in for JCW in Vegas last year. I had my Trump moment where this thing went right by my face, an empty Fago bottle.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was fun. I didn't get hit at the last show I worked for them where everything ended. So thank God, because that would have been just horrible and horrific. So what are your thoughts anyway on Juggalo culture? I'm just curious.
So real quick to go back to the performance, every time I performed, they always throw shit. And during my performance, I forgot to mention this. By the end of the show, I mean, people were throwing like water balloons full of not water. Someone did throw a Fago bottle that was halfway full with Fago. I wanted to be savage and like try to drink it and whatever, like while I'm performing, but I'm like, yo, what if there's something in there that I don't want to ingest that like fucks me up? I'm like, I can't do that. There was some girl that was like throwing her beer like all over me when I was like, you know, because I usually try to get real close to the crowd sometimes, you know, periodically, and then she was just hosing me down with her beer. I don't drink either, so that was like you know, I just let it rock, you know, it's just like whatever. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely it was that was everything that I expected it to be. Not as bad though, because like I saw some of the crash outs that some artists were having. Like, I don't know, you know, like for me personally, if that's how juggalos are, if that's how they communicate, if that's the way they show love, like they're just partying a big giant party, you know what I mean? Like if I paid $300 for a ticket, I might want to throw some shit at the artist too. Fuck it, you know. So yeah, no, it's just how it is. So but yeah, I walked the grounds that day, that evening too, with a few people, and saw a lot of people that recognized me, took a lot of pictures, and I mean the Juggalo culture, I mean they're great. They're great. That like breathed a new life into the Sinizter career that I never had before, and I'm super thankful for them, and they've been super supportive ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's a definitely good culture, and I know there are a lot of Juffs out there in this world. Do you know what a Juff is?
Yeah, like fake juggalos, poser juggalos, basically.
A lot of them out there, trust me. But you have a very interesting career. Now, getting back to Iconoclast, how long did that writing process take?
Good question. We started in like late December, so I think it was like just after Christmas, and we finished the album in April, so not too long. But I had those guys like, I was like really cracking the whip. I was like, come on, send me beats. Like, cause when I'm in like a creative like when the creative juices are really flowing, like I gotta strike while the iron's hot. Like that's just how I am as a writer. So if my producers that I'm working with for an album like don't have beats ready, I'm like come on, especially like, I paid for it too, so I was like really hounding them. So yeah, so they were working overtime for me, which was nice. So but yeah, no, 4 months, so not super long.
Okay, and Hate Within, tell us about that, because I do like the music. I did listen to it earlier.
Yeah. These projects, I made that face because someone fucked me up recently. They said a comment that it was meant to be derogatory, but it kind of made me kind of open my eyes. Where they called my projects vanity projects, and I'm like, seriously. But I mean, in a way, I guess they kind of are. Like Hate Within is definitely one of those things, because I started Hate Within in 2024 with this songwriter named Harry from the United Kingdom. He also writes for Epikoros. He's an amazing songwriter. But I wanted to I wanted to get into metal, and I didn't care what I was writing, even though I'm infinitely more passionate about black metal. And I kind of subconsciously knew that, but I was like, maybe deathcore would be like a cool thing to kind of do. That's not too far off of what I'm currently doing with Sinizter. So, I liked a lot of the stuff at the time, like bands like Warna Shore. I was like really big into them for a period of time when we were first writing the stuff for Hate Within. So that was kind of what we modeled it after, but like obviously much more extreme. It still sounds way different than Warna Shore does. So when I started the project, it was really just to kind of showcase what I could do as a vocalist, and that's where the vanity part comes in. So yeah, that was how it started. And then it was an excuse for me to work with another one of my close friends named Ilmari, who lives in Finland. He's a guitarist I've known for 8 years. Amazing guitar player. And I never had a project to really like dedicate to working with him. And I asked him, I was like, would you, do like guitar solos for this project? And he was like, oh yeah, totally. And so it kind of became like this, now I'm working with my friends kind of project. And then we were like, oh, let's do an album. So we threw together 8 songs, and that actually took a long time. We worked on that album for about a year. And there were some additional songs that were actually scrapped from that first album. I think like 2. So I didn't put out everything that we did. But yeah, so we worked with Flesh God Apocalypse. I don't know if you looked at the track list. Yeah, so
I know who they are.
Yeah. So I got Veronica Bordicini to do like a kind of like an opera hook on one of the songs, which was really cool. I really like Flesh God Apocalypse as far as like symphonic death metal is concerned. I think they have a really unique sound, and they're very extreme still. And then, Shadow of Intent, I don't know if you're familiar with them. We had the vocalist from there on there. And then a guitar player that I really love, Angel Vivaldi, if you've ever heard of him. If you're not, you should definitely check him out, because, man, he shreds like crazy. So, yeah, had him do a guest solo on another song, and it's, so good.
So do you speak to Janne Wertheim from, I don't know if it's Wertheim, Janne from Children of Bodom, because he has a solo project out now. It would be really cool, if you guys ever collaborated on something.
I would love to. I would love to.
You should totally connect with him. He's one of the most talented. And I think the only other talented pianist I could think of, or keyboardist, would be Mystis, who was in Dimmu Borgir before he left or whatever happened. I see all these little comments. Guys, I see you in the chat, and I see what you're saying. It's funny. Like I said, let's go back to cryptic thinkings for a second, guys. That's all.
If you don't mind, I don't know if are you still like plugged in with those people? If you don't mind plugging me in or putting
that I'll do.
a word or something.
That I would do. I can introduce you to them. One of them, though, I
Yeah.
have a very extensive past with, so I'll have to.
Oh, okay.
Work
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah.
But I feel as though like people like that, they're trying to get out there and do stuff, and it's important, guys, because you and I, you could understand this. It's a hustle out there, and you're your own publicist. Just
Hmm.
food for thought, kids, in the chat. And again, it's another cryptic thing. Let's say hypothetically, there's a publicist out there telling people not to interview you. Maybe because you don't work with XYZ, but just not to interview you. That's kind of like cock blocking. Is that just me? Is
Yeah.
that like cock
Yeah.
blocking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, 100%.
pretty legal too, but what could be worse, I guess, right? At least you get it, like you're your own entity. I didn't know you're involved in metal and rock though, which I think is
Mm.
fascinating. What can we expect as far as a Theracos? The other band.
Oh, Epicurus.
I was
Epicurus.
close.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
Epicurus. I knew that. I was just testing you. Okay, Epicurus. What does that mean anyway?
uh, like you're the first person to ask that question.
I want to know what it is because I'm
Yeah,
probably the
it's
first person to talk to you.
yeah. So it's basically it's a Greek word that means like heretic, like a religious heretic.
Okay.
So
My
yeah,
real name is Greek, so I had a feeling it was Greek.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then are you touring with that, or are we just doing this as a
Oh,
studio?
this is like a brand new project. It started off as something that was going to be just like a 2-man sort of thing, just me and Harry, because I just wanted to do black metal. But once I brought Nils into the on drums, I was like, okay, now it's becoming a big thing, and I mean, it's like it's gaining a lot of interest online. So, and we haven't even dropped the first. We have 6 songs out right now. We have the first album coming out in July 1st. So I don't know what I would love to tour, but we're already working on the second album. So that's, we got that going. I hope to tour with that project. I think that'd be great.
Well, wait a second. Are you on a label like Peaceville or like Seasons of the Mist? Because
Nope.
I'm tied in with
Nothing.
those people too, like Seasons
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Mist.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing. Just
Really?
fully independent. Yep.
So if people want to look at your stuff and buy it and see where you're touring, do they just go to your tag right there, Instagram.com/Sinizter, or where would they go?
For Sinizter stuff, yeah, but I didn't want to bombard you with a bunch of links because I don't know what
It's
all we could
okay.
fit on here. But yeah, I
Uh,
mean, if you want to type it in the chat,
mhm.
yeah, it's basically Instagram.com/Epikoros, which is EPIKOROS. Wait, did I even spell it right? Epikoros, yeah. BM. If you want to look that up just to make sure I gave you.
KOROSBM. Okay, so that's for Epicurus, guys. And then Hate Within is
It's the same thing, but hate within _ at the end.
after Within. Okay, great. Paul, if you get a chance, if you could look it up and just put it into the chat, that would be great. He'll do it. He's in the chat all the time. If you could do that, that would be awesome. For the other ones. But I think on Sinizter is where all of your links are. And it's amazing because it's a very tough thing to do. I mean, being an artist, and I like to refuse that word because that's completely what you do. It's tough, And I assume that you're gonna try to hustle to get out there some festivals or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're like, especially with Epicurus, it's happening really fast now. Like once we started releasing songs with Nils on it, like the popularity went from like here to like here overnight. Like I'll put it to you this way. We dropped a music video on this platform called Black Metal Promotion like a month ago. And it it only has 16K, but it like gave us our initial following on like social media. And we've had a lot of support, selling a lot of like shirts, merch, all that kind of stuff. I didn't know if we were going to be able to have a vinyl for this first album, but someone reached out to us in Europe that's going to do it. So like we got that locked in. So like, I mean, all signs are a go for Epicurus right now. So I mean, it's great so far.
Yeah, I would hit up some of the other labels. Like, God, I remember when I was managing a band out there. I forgot what label they were on, but it was a distribution deal. It was pretty good. Yeah, I would definitely collaborate with someone like Peaceville. They
Yeah,
have a lot of
yeah.
black metal bands. Seasons of the Mist is different. Who's the other one? Man, it's at the tip of my tongue, and I'll probably, you know, type it to you when I figure it out later tonight when I'm
Is it
like
is it
sleeping down.
Century Media?
Huh? Not
Is it
Century Media.
Century? Okay.
Not Metal Blade, not Sentry, not Nuclear Blast. It's another one that's a smaller one. Jerv was on it, DJAERV, Jerv. I forgot the name of it, but it was a small label in Norway. So
Hmm.
Silly says that you're the reason he started listening to any black metal. That's good. Let's just hope you don't burn down any Slavic churches. Um, there's just so many different rumors that go around. And I don't know. I think we've all done some pretty juvenile stuff, but that's like next level. Do you have any personal thoughts on Varg?
Oh man, you want to get controversial, huh?
Yeah, come on. I love this shit. Come on. I already like
Yeah,
gave away half my shit earlier into what I was trying to say, but I haven't said it. But yes.
yeah. Well, I don't know how familiar your podcast is with me or with you or black metal and all that kind of stuff, or just black metal and culture in general. Varg is hated. I guess we won't mention why, but if you know, you know.
You call me as a racist
I
or whatever. People say I'm
Yeah,
a
I
racist
mean,
all the time, but yet I have a photo of Jim Cornette in a Trump bikini. So I can't be that racist or that discriminatory towards people.
yeah, I mean, I own Burzum vinyl. I own Burzum
Oh, cool.
merch. I own like yeah, like I would I like Aska, that first initial Burzum album. I love I'm probably gonna butcher some of these names. The Hvis Licitar Os, I think it means like until the light takes us or something like that. That album's very good. Uh
Yeah.
yeah, Dead Summon Gang Var, very good. Philosophem, classic. I mean, he's done amazing work. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a foundational black metal band for sure.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty I mean, I don't have a I actually have a hoodie that's from him from years and years and years ago. Like I'm talking ages ago
Yeah,
and I still have the hoodie. It's a
yeah,
Burzum hoodie. But I don't know if I get dirtier looks when I wear that or a Zyklon t-shirt. Because I didn't know what Zyklon was till someone told me, but
yeah.
I still it's the name of a fucking band, man. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, don't even get me started. I'll
I'm
tell
not
you.
anti-Semitic. I'm really not.
Oh
Everyone knows
man,
that.
yeah.
Um,
I'll tell
but
you a
it's a cool
funny.
band.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story after, because I don't want to. It's like kind of an ongoing situation I'm currently dealing with right now with Sinister, believe it or not, that has to do with band T-shirts. So
What did
that's
you do?
been
You put like a friggin' what'd you
no.
do?
Well, look, I
Or
don't want to
Google?
say it publicly because, like I said, it's kind of an ongoing sort of issue that I'm dealing
Okay.
with. But
Tell me
yeah,
after. So
yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the whole band shirt thing I think is starting to get ridiculous, and
yeah, with
I
logos, but metal logos, people can't read a black metal or a death metal logo. Like with an ICP logo, you could see an ICP logo
yeah,
because it's loud and clear, and you got clowns, and we get that.
but
You
the
see
thing
Shaggy's face and Joe's makeup, but band
the
shirts,
thing
man.
is, yeah, the thing is I think they're cracking down too hard on, and like with band tees too, it's like everything is very presumptive. Like obviously with the Burzum thing, it's like, okay, if you know anything about Burzum or Varg, like you know his politics, right? But like with other bands, it's like it's presumptive, and it's like, oh well, this person is in this band who is in this band who thinks this way, and or they have these politics or whatever, and it's kind of just like, are we really like, are we nitpick, are we cherry picking like that and looking that into these bands? But the thing is like the internet is Reddit is crazy with that stuff. They have
Right.
a whole Reddit called Is It Sketch?
Is it sketch? Let me
Is It
tell you what
Sketch is the
sketch
name of
is.
the subreddit.
You know,
But
fucking
yeah,
like snap people's knuckles
there's a
in.
whole there's a whole list of sketchy black metal bands, and I mean, like literally, like Dimmu Borgir is listed as like major sketch on there. Mayhem listed as major sketch on there. Like, I mean, even like Dark Throne is mild sketch, and like they list the reason why some of your favorite bands are probably black, which means Nazi. They, the dreaded Nazi word. So yeah, black metal's got like kind of a bad dark reputation now for that whole thing just looming over it. And me being as, you know, passionate about black metal as I am, I guess I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I guess I'll give you the kind of the Cliff Notes version. But I've been asked to remove posts in order to get show bookings recently of me wearing. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't want to, because it's not my agency's fault. Like they're doing the best they can. They're great. I don't believe in censorship. My agency has let me know, they're like, look, we don't believe in censorship either, but we have promoters we need to satisfy, and they are not. And this is for like Europe stuff. So Europe, I guess, is very, very sensitive about this kind of shit. And I'm being cooperative because it's like, I get it, you know, but at the same time, I think it's crazy. But
well, right now you got to curtsy.
What's that?
Right now you just have to curtsy like a prostitute.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You know, and I get it. But black metal crowd, they were punks that beat down skinhead. Well, no, we don't.
Yeah.
We just burn shit down. Now I got really pissed off, by the way, because of the whole thing. You know, I'm just, I think I'm pretty much shadow banned on Twitter because I called Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, a dirty ass communist, filthy cunt. So someone in the chat used the word dirty ass to describe someone at JCW. I'm not going to say who, but what they're doing is very dirty ass shit. And you know who you are. And I started using the word dirty ass. So I called her dirty ass, filthy communist cunt. And that's what I call her. Then the other girl, ramen face or whatever, I called her something way worse. I haven't been asked to remove the tweet yet. And I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, I like, look, especially for me too, you know, I've always been like this too. I'm always a First Amendment kind of guy, because I'm ex-military, you know, so I went to war for that shit. So when I see and it's that like when I say First Amendment too, I am including but not limited to things that I do not agree with, lifestyles that I don't agree with, ways of life, ways of thinking, anything. Say whatever you want. I don't care. I don't want to be offended. And in fact, I want you to think differently. I don't want everybody to be the same. You know, I may have my own personal thoughts and opinions and ways of living and all that, but like, I don't care what anyone else does. And, you know, funny enough, just throwing this out there too, just for whatever it's worth, some of the biggest Sinizter fans are trans, and I don't care. They show up to shows. It's all love. They buy merch. They're some of my biggest, strongest, hardest supporters. I don't care. You know, the other thing too, with like music, you don't get to pick your fans either.
No.
So, you know, it's like, I don't, if you like my music and you want to support me, like, I don't care what walk of life you're from at all. And I don't think that you should have to hide that or censor that or whatever because somebody's offended. Like, I don't believe in any of that stuff.
It's just a shame. It's like, it's cancel culture now. It's like seeping into black metal, and you know, I'll wear my Burzum shit. I don't care. I'll wear whatever I want to, and I don't give a fuck. You know, and I'm at a stage in my life where I just don't really give a fuck. And you know, I think most people know that. The hate amongst fandoms has become toxic. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's just a younger generation, and hopefully, you know, they come to your shows. Like, guys, music is music. You know, if someone falls in a mosh pit, pick them up and help them. And that's really what we're all there for, and to drink and, you know, do shit that you don't necessarily see on the internet.
One thing that I will just like before we, you know, move on is and we can riff on this for a second if you want to, but I think that people have become so self-righteous in their like virtue signaling and wanting, and it's like almost like this like narcissistic behavior of like wanting to be perceived as this like good person because, oh, I'm not an anti-Semite, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't listen to sketchy black metal bands, I don't listen to but it's like the craziest part is that metalcore and deathcore, like basically mainstream metal and all that stuff, has like the most heinous shit going on in those scenes. Everything from like domestic violence, sexual assault, the P word, the dreaded P word. You got those people, the CPs, if you know, you know.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, you know, black metal doesn't deal with any of that. Granted, we got one that some people might say is arguably worse, but I don't think so. It's a, you know, really just an edgy niche sort of, you know, iconography, really, because maybe some of them believe in it, maybe some of them don't, but it's like, I don't know what's worse. I think sexual assault and domestic violence and all that kind of stuff, I think that's way worse, in my opinion.
Well, I'm with you 100% on that, you know, and I've seen your stuff online, like a few clips here and there of things. I could tell you guys are genuinely great performers, and wherever you go, you know, you bring a great vibe and great energy. So I know that your bands will get booked overseas in Europe. I get it though. I get the whole sensitivity. You know, yeah, did black metal just go through a phase where folks were trying to one up on each other and how extreme? Yeah, this is what people do. You know, I feel as though it went through that phase, but true black metal is what we listen to and what we respect.
It's it's, I mean, this is like a segues into like this is like a whole nother podcast episode, really. But black metal at its core and at its non-mainstream black metal is hateful, like from the very beginning. That's how it was. And so that's why you see a lot of these crazy symbols that are in there. And it's not necessarily like, because I mean, like I said, maybe some of them are about it, you know, but I've seen a lot of people that are not. So and I think a lot of the bands are also realizing like, okay, if we don't get rid of this, like we're just never going to play shows either. So a lot of these older bands are trying to kind of clean themselves up the best they can. And I feel like a lot of the newer bands are coming out. It's almost hard for fans to even tell if they're sketchy. Now it's just kind of like, do you even know who this person is, kind of thing. So but yeah.
Or you could just listen to the music. There's that choice. I feel like COVID brought upon this bad behavior. People wanted to seem like, just say something to seem relevant or cool, or just behave badly. You know, it's just, cancel culture is toxic. And these Reddit things, Reddit can go fuck themselves. Like I go on Reddit and like I see shit. It's like you wrote 3 pages on this about like nothingness. I think I was kicked off of Reddit because I posted someone's rap sheet on there.
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know if that was mean of me. Was it? No, I don't think so.
I mean, it depends what they did, but probably, I mean, I'm sure they deserved it.
Right? Yeah. She deserved it. She totally did. People who've been on here last year with me know who it is and know what's going on and know why I did it. You don't just inherit like $1 million from literally giving someone a gun to blow their brains out. You just don't. People need to know.
Oh man, yeah, nah, hell no.
You have a rap sheet longer than John Holmes' cop. You are a nasty.
Yeah, definitely not.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's not where it stopped. I went ahead and sent it to CPS as well. So I guess that ended pretty well. Anywho, moving right along. So people want to keep up with Sinizter, hop on over to his Instagram. It's Sinizter. He'll be posting other things there as well. Then you have hate within _ and as Paul posted in the chat earlier, Instagram / yeah, he did post it. Hey, Epikoros BM. So Epikoros Black Metal. Whew, it's been a night.
Yeah. No, it's good. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I wanted to have you on. I just didn't know like if I scared you from last year at the gathering when I was harassing you. Okay.
No, not at all.
Well, stay in touch with me and let me know how these go. And I will try to help you and connect you with some really talented, skilled keyboardists because I'd like to see you do well. Yeah,
I appreciate it. Seriously. I'm trying to get to know more people in the black metal scene too as well. So
come up to a festival.
I'm starting to.
I mean, that's definitely what we need to do. Yeah. So I hope to see you soon. And, let's check back in momentarily with one another.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Have
All
a
right.
peaceful evening.
You guys take care.
Skull. That was technically like his quick Norwegian lesson when I did skull, because in Norwegian skull means cheers. But anyway, I don't know how cryptic I was tonight. I kind of bit my tongue because we had a guest on the show, and I don't want to get into it right now. But some people on here know what's going on. Some people don't. Thank you very much. Clap, clap, clap. Next week on Crazy Train Podcast, make sure you are subscribed and tuned into my podcast on iTunes and obviously on YouTube, which you are. Pretty Boy Smooth is on there. That's who I worked with in NWA, which was a fun time. NWA has such a great locker room too. Such lovely people, and I hope to be back there soon. Everyone else, have a great evening. And don't forget to stay frosty.